Welcome to Scary Mary Asia, a place where ancient myths whisper in the dark, where forgotten legends rise again, and where every shadow has a story to tell. From haunted villages deep in the jungles, to cursed temples, restless spirits, and creatures that walk between worlds, here we uncover Asia's darkest tales. If you love chilling stories, mysterious legends, and real-life hauntings, you're in the right place. Every day, we bring you stories that'll make your skin crawl, and maybe make you question what's real. So, before we begin, hit that subscribe button, because your support keeps these stories alive and helps this channel grow. And trust me, you don't want the spirits to be the only ones watching. Scary Mary Asia, where myths breathe and nightmares come alive. The Axe of the Gods, birth of the Parashu in the age of Treta Yuga, when men still spoke with gods. A young warrior sage walks the path of destiny. His name was Rama, son of sage Jamadagni, but one day the world would call him Parashurama. Rama with the axe. For years, Rama had watched corruption rise. Kings drunk with power, warriors forgetting Dharma, the balance of the world slowly breaking apart. He sought the blessing of the one who destroys and renews, Lord Shiva, the Mahadeva. Shiva, the Lord of Destruction, stood before him. His voice was like the echo of the cosmos. Shiva, Rama, son of Jamadagni, your penance shakes the heavens. What do you seek? Rama, O Mahadeva, the world has forgotten righteousness. Grant me the strength to destroy evil and restore balance. Teach me your art of divine war. From the flames, a weapon took form, shimmering silver and blue, forged from the fire of stars and cooled in the tears of time. It pulsed with divine energy, humming like a living being. Shiva, this is Parashu, my own axe. It bears the power of my wrath and the calm of my mercy. Wield it with wisdom, Rama, for it can destroy worlds or protect them. He places the axe in Rama's hands. The moment he touches it, a blinding light erupts. Rivers roar, mountains shake. The axe glows, binding itself to its new master. In that instant, Rama was no longer a mere mortal. He became Parashurama, the warrior sage, destined to purge the arrogance of kings and restore the law of Dharma. Parashurama stands at the edge of a battlefield, eyes closed, holding the Parashu. The weapon gleams under the stormy sky. It is said that even the gods trembled when Parashurama raised his Parashu, for wherever that axe fell, falsehood died and truth was born again. This is the story of the Parashu, the axe of the gods, and the birth of the man who carried the fury of Shiva himself. You're watching Scary Mary Asia. Subscribe now for more tales of ancient power, forgotten gods, and divine wrath. The wrath of the axe. Parashurama's vengeance. There was peace once. In the ashram of the sage Jamadagni, a place where Dharma breathed freely, where the gods themselves would bless the land with rain. But even paradise can fall. When arrogance of kings grows unchecked, the king, blessed with 1,000 arms and blinded by greed, demanded the sage's divine cow Kamadenu, the wish-fulfilling mother of plenty. Old sage, you live like a hermit, yet possess a treasure fit for emperors. Give me this cow, or face the wrath of my sword. Jamadagni, this cow is not mine, O king. She belongs to the gods. Desire not what is divine, for it will bring only ruin. The king laughs. He orders his men. They seize Kamadenu and strike the sage. Renukas cries as the soldiers ride away. When Parashurama returned from the forest, he saw the ground soaked in blood. His father lay motionless, his mother weeping beside him. And in that moment, the world changed. The calm disciple vanished. What rose instead was the storm of Shiva's fury. The sky turns crimson. Parashurama lifts the Parashu, its blade gleaming blue with divine fire. You have slain a man of peace. Now face the wrath of the gods. He swings the Parashu, a shockwave bursts through the forest. Trees fall, rivers rage, lightning arcs across the clouds. With each step, the axe pulsed with life. It remembered its creator. It remembered its purpose. King, who dares, before he finishes? The Parashu flies, spinning through the air, slicing his golden crown clean in half. The axe sang through the battlefield, a storm of vengeance. No armor could stop it, no shield could turn it aside. The Kshatriya armies fell one by one, their arrogance cut down by the weapon of Shiva. And when it was done, Parashurama stood amidst silence. The weapon hummed softly, as if grieving. The warrior sage had fulfilled his vow, but peace came at a terrible price. Thus began the legend of Parashurama, the man who wiped the earth of kings 21 times, until righteousness was restored. His axe was not just a weapon, it was the balance between creation and destruction. And so, the Parashu sleeps once more, waiting for the day when evil dares to rise again. You're watching Scary Mary Asia, where legends breathe and the divine awakens. Subscribe for more tales of gods, wrath, and destiny. The Last Warrior, when Parashurama met Rama centuries past. The world changed. Empires rose and fell. But one man never aged, Parashurama, the immortal warrior sage, cursed and blessed to walk the earth until every trace of his wrath was gone. He had destroyed, he had punished, he had avenged, but the burden of his actions weighed heavier than the axe he carried. Parashurama waited for a sign that his duty was done. Parashurama in a distant land, another Rama was born, calm, radiant, divine. He lifted the bow of Shiva as though it were a feather, and in doing so, awakened the final chapter of Parashurama's destiny. Parashurama, someone, has broken Lord Shiva's bow. The meeting of two Ramas, one of wrath, one of peace. The old warrior faced the new, the end of one era, and the birth of another. Parashurama, who dared to break the weapon of my Lord Shiva. Rama, I am Rama, son of Dasharatha. I broke it only to win the hand of Sita, not in arrogance. The hall falls silent. Parashurama steps forward, fire burning in his eyes. He draws the Parashu. The air trembles. Even gods in the heavens watch in silence. The axe that had slain kings now faced a prince who carried divinity itself. Parashurama, if you truly are blessed, string this bow of Vishnu and prove your worth. Rama gently takes the bow, strings it effortlessly, and aims not to attack, but to bow in respect. The light from his hands merges with that of Parashurama's Parashu. The hall fills with divine radiance. In that moment, Parashurama saw the truth. This Rama was no mortal prince. He was Vishnu himself, the very Lord whom Parashurama had served through his rage and penance. Parashurama drops his axe to the ground. The Parashu lands with a soft echo, glowing one last time. Parashurama, my lord, my duty is complete. My wrath ends here. The warrior of destruction laid down his weapon before the Prince of Compassion. And as the Parashu faded into light, Parashurama's heart was finally free. They say Parashurama still meditates in the sacred mountains, waiting for the end of time, when the gods will summon him once more. Until then, the Parashu sleeps, silent, yet awake, a reminder that even divine fury must bow before divine peace. This is the legend of the Parashu, the axe of the gods, a weapon of destruction, born of devotion, silenced only by truth. You've been watching Scary Mary Asia. Subscribe now for more tales of power, gods, and the forgotten legends that shaped our world. Absolutely. That is, one of the most fascinating parts of Parashurama, his later life, when the godlike warrior of wrath became a teacher of divine warfare to the greatest heroes of the Mahabharata. The teacher of legends. Parashurama's final legacy after his meeting with Lord Rama. The warrior sage Parashurama withdrew from the world of men. The axe of wrath was silenced. But his fire, his knowledge, his mastery of divine warfare could not be allowed to fade with time. He closes his eyes, meditating beside a waterfall. Years pass like seconds, the seasons change, snow, rain, spring, summer, yet he remains still, eternal. He became the guardian of martial wisdom, the teacher whom even gods respected, and men feared to approach. But 3 souls, destined for greatness and tragedy alike, would one day find their way to him. The first was Devavrata, the prince of the Kuru line, noble, pure, and fierce. He sought to perfect his skill, not for conquest, but to protect his kingdom. Bhishma kneels before Parashurama's hermitage, folding his hands in respect. Bhishma, O great sage, I am Devavrata, son of Shantanu. I wish to learn the secrets of combat, that no man may ever defeat me. Parashurama, you carry no arrogance, only purpose. Very well, Devavrata, I shall teach you what even gods fear to wield. Bhishma training, striking with divine precision, learning to fight with bow, spear, and mace. Parashurama watches with calm pride. Under the master's eye, Bhishma learned the use of celestial weapons, the Brahmastra, the Pashupatastra, and the art of battle meditation. Yet Parashurama saw in him something more, the discipline that turns strength into dharma. He became Bhishma, the man who bound his life to duty. Parashurama's finest student, yet one destined to live in pain for his vows. The next was Dronacharya, born of wisdom, but burdened by poverty. He sought knowledge, not for glory, but for honor. Drona, great one, they say no mortal can match your skill. Teach me so that I may serve righteousness and earn my place among warriors. Parashurama studies him, then nods. He grants Drona all his weapons, all his knowledge, and even his blessings. Parashurama gave Drona every secret he possessed, the arts of archery, astras, and the knowledge of divine combat. When Drona asked for a fee, the sage gave him all his wealth, his very weapons, and said only, use them wisely. In Drona, the fire of Parashurama's teachings lived on the birth of an age where divine war would once again shape the fate of kingdoms. And the third was Karna, born of celestial light but shunned as lowborn. His heart burned with pride and pain. He too came seeking the master who could make him invincible. Karna approaches Parashurama's hermitage, disguising himself as a Brahmin to gain his favor. Karna, O revered sage, I am a humble Brahmin, seeking knowledge of divine weapons. Will you accept me as your disciple? For years, Parashurama trained him, seeing in Karna the same flame that once burned within himself. The Parashu hummed when Karna struck, as if recognizing its master's spirit reborn. Karna, but one afternoon, while resting on Parashurama's lap, a scorpion crawls onto Karna's thigh and stings him. Karna does not move, fearing to disturb his guru's rest. Blood runs down his leg. Parashurama awakens, shocked at Karna's calmness in pain. Parashurama, no Brahmin could endure such agony without a cry. Tell me the truth, who are you? Karna bowing, I am not a Brahmin, O master. I am the son of a charioteer, but my heart is that of a warrior. The sage's eyes burned with divine fury, not out of hatred, but sorrow. For deception, however noble, still carried consequence. Parashurama raising his hand, because you deceived your teacher, my son. The knowledge of the Brahmastra shall fail you when you need it most. Parashurama, still, you shall be the greatest among men. Even destiny will bow before your courage. And thus, Parashurama's last and most tragic disciple departed, a hero doomed to fall, yet destined to be remembered forever. Returned to the mountains, Parashurama sits in meditation, surrounded by fading light. His Parashu rests beside him, silent. Parashurama, 3 disciples, 3 destinies. Through them, Parashurama's spirit flowed into the Mahabharata itself, shaping the fate of gods and men alike. The axe that once destroyed now became the symbol of knowledge, and they say, even now, deep within the forests, the immortal sage still waits, guarding his Parashu, ready to rise again when Dharma trembles once more. You've been watching Scary Merry Asia, where myths awaken and gods walk again. Subscribe now for more stories of divine power, lost legends, and ancient fury.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to like, share, and comment.